Hi class, it's day 11 in Mrs. Giroux's 2D art class. Today we are starting the new unit on shape and form. I'm sorry you missed today, or perhaps you're just watching this to go over some of the vocabulary words that we covered. So today our focus is shape and form, and we're learning how to transform shapes and forms. We're building our art vocabulary, and then we're going to apply concepts to original artwork that you're going to create a little bit today and later on in the week. Why are we doing this? You need to be able to distinguish the difference between flat 2D shapes and 3D forms in 2D artwork, as well as recognize what they look like in three-dimensional work. It's needed, your knowledge between the two is needed to produce our still life and non-objective projects coming up. And we went over the basic categories of shape with discussion. So we talked about geometric and organic shapes. Geometric, you can name these shapes such as square, triangle, circle. They're regular. A geometric form would be a cube. A geometric shape is a square. A geometric circle is a shape, and a geometric form is a sphere. A geometric shape of a triangle is a triangle, and a geometric form would be a pyramid or a cone. You get the idea. Organic shapes and forms are irregular, and they have no regular outline to them, like a rock, a cloud. They come from nature. And then at the end of class we talked a little bit about positive and negative shapes. We demonstrated those around the room, and we talked about mass is the positive and negative is the air around it. That's one simple way of remembering it. We covered all of these vocabulary words, and we'll be working on those this week. We looked at our progress tracker, and we see that we're on week 3. We talked about the artist Henri Matisse, a little bit about his life, and we compared this picture by Henri Matisse. It's actually a collage, C-O-L-L-A-G-E. We talked about the difference between the spelling of collage and college. And here's another one by Henri Matisse, and we compared and contrasted both of his works. The first thing I asked the class was, how would they know if this was done by the same artist or not, without telling them that yes, they both were done by Matisse. And many people referred back to the detective game we played earlier in the year and said that you can tell because of the colors, you can tell because of the shapes, you can tell because of the composition and the overall style, and all of those are correct. We read a children's book which had many, many more Henri Matisse illustrations. We looked at a coloring book that just had black and white versions of these pictures where you can really, really see the different shapes. The color's all taken away and it's just the shapes. The next thing we did was we went to our Pinterest page and we found the unit on shape and form, and we watched this video. Okay, and it's on 2D Unit 2, Shape and Form. Should be right at the top. It's called Vincent van Gogh and the Elements of Art. Very important that you see that it has artwork in it, and also talking about foreground, middle ground, background, and other vocabulary that you will need to know that we discussed in class. All right, the next thing we did was we watched, let's see, the videos on shape and form. See the one on Vincent van Gogh, here's a better picture of it. That's what it starts out to look like. And then we discussed, and then the next one starts off like this. Let's see. Okay, so you're going to watch these two. One says shape and the other one says form. And they're again by KQED. Very, very good vocabulary, very clear, has great discussions and questions, and also clarifies the difference between geometric and organic. And then we saw this video. It's an amazing video called Analyzing the Elements. Again, it's found on our Pinterest page. The first frame I froze on so that they could see that this is not three-dimensional. It's made to look three-dimensional, but it is a two-dimensional painting on a wall. There's some really, really great pictures. We talked about the French term trompe-l'oeil and how that means fool the eye. So there's lots and lots of pictures on here that I think you'll really want to see this one, and how to make two-dimensional paper or wall look like 3D. For instance, this one right here, and this one. This is a really good video. You're going to want to see the whole thing.
These paintings are all examples of the genre of art called trompe-l'oeil. Translated from French, trompe-l'oeil literally means fools the eye.
Okay. And then the next thing we did was we played a game, and we talked about Henri Matisse a little bit more. Each student was given a piece of paper, and each team was given one die, and they rolled it using this like a mathematical chart, multiplication chart, and they ended up with some really good drawings. They rolled it 5 times in their group, and let's see. Pretty good example right here of some of the drawings that they did. 5 from there. Then we took a popsicle stick, colored popsicle stick, and they were to choose 2 of the same color because the color will not matter. They took a piece of cardboard like this, and they glued with just regular Elmer's glue about halfway down, so it's going to, it's going to look like that. And they put their name right here so that's visible, just a little bit of Elmer's glue. And they are drawing over on the table, side counter, right over there. Okay, so each one of those, you can see they're in 2s. Each one of those is going to be used as a piece of artwork that we're going to create a stamp on. And we're going to do a banner. I'll have to show you that in class because I have it rolled up right now. But we're going to do a collaborative project. And the class seemed pretty excited about that. And then the last thing we did was we reviewed lines. We talked again about Vincent van Gogh, Starry Night. And then I had them draw positive and negative space, which looks like this. And they could choose any of the vases that they saw or create their own. We talked about which they saw first, whether they saw the white vase first or the black vase first, or the white figures or the black figures first. And it was interesting to see who saw what kind of first and who just saw one or the other and could not see both. So that would be another drawing. And of course the black parts you'd have to fill those in solidly for this to work. It does not have to be a big drawing, but you do need to do that as well. And again, we talked about positive and negative space. All right. That is about it. We worked right up into the bell, so I hope to see you tomorrow. Thanks. Bye-bye.